This right here is very close. Hello everyone, this is your girl LaFaye. I am on the Carnival Celebration, and before I get started, I just want to say welcome to my channel and thank you all so much for joining the Dreams Remembered family as we cruise to the Caribbean. It is a 14-day cruise, but the first week we will do a 7-day, and that will be to the Bahamas, Amber Cove, Dominican Republic, and Grand Turks, Turks and Caicos. We will do that 7-day cruise, and then this is a back-to-back. I will be in the same room for the next week, which is another 7-day cruise, and it will be going to Mahogany Bay, Costa Maya, and Cozumel. This is my first ever back-to-back. So I've done a journey cruise, which I completed that cruise in November. That was a 15-day cruise out of Rome, Italy. I am so excited. We've completed our muster stations. I've had lunch. You guys, it is really late in the day. I am so sorry I did not bring you all along, but your girl just didn't feel like carrying the camera. Tomorrow will be a fun day at sea, and then on Tuesday we will be in the Bahamas. You know what? Let's do a room tour. How about that? Okay, time for a room tour. Before we can actually do a room tour, you all know we have to check out that emergency evacuation. Actually, this is called our safety chart, and this is what I explore first when I come on the ship. There's the peephole. You also have the boat lock there, and here on the left we have our temperature controls. Here you have the cool, which is blue, and you have the heat, which is red, and the fan here where you can turn it off. But right now it is on high. I thought I turned it off, but I'll check that in a few minutes. Here you also have the key card, which you do need the key card. You take this card out, you leave your room. I would say it gives you about 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and then the light will go off. But when you're in your room, you want to keep that in because the lights do not operate without that card in. And we also have the light switches here. That's the room light here, and these are some other little overhead lights. On the other side, we have closets. Now, I would tell you this is the reason why I love having my own room, is because all the closets, they are all mine. You have your hangers here, and these little shelves here, you can drop those down. All you do is you just release this little latch here, and it comes down if you need more shelf space. They have 2 of those, and they also have a little shelf here where you can store your shoes, and they have a little drawer down there where you can also store your shoes. I'll just do like this right here, and you can store shoes in there as well. So lots of storage there. And then they have the little baskets. Oh, that's soft clothes. Oh, that's pretty cool. But they have the little baskets here, and I assure you all, I am going to be using all this space. I am loving this soft clothes. Look at that. Oh, that is just too cool. I just love it. And of course the safe here, which I will be putting my high value items like my passport, my extra cash, my purse, my cards, all of that will be going in the safe, and it will stay locked in there until it is time for me to disembark the ship in 2 weeks. And then we have another shelf here and more hangers, so you can hang your short clothing over here and your long clothing over here if you need to. Okay, and they also have on this door is a hook. Now in this closet here, I do want to add there is a dressing, I'm sorry about that, there is a dressing mirror here that is right there. Not sure if you all can see it, but this is a dressing mirror. And then you have again those latches for shelving space here, and you can drop these again as well. And then you have another rack up there that you can use. They have 2 shelves here, again, if you need them, only if you need them. If you don't need them, you can leave them in this configuration and just hang your clothes. It's a very good space, especially if you brought gowns and long dresses and tuxedos and those type things for formal night. That is perfect. And then on this side, you just have more closet space. So you can use this for all of your hanging and then use the other one for all your chef space or vice versa. But that's all this is over here. Now on this side, which is the left side or the right side, just depends on which side you're standing on or how you're standing in the room, but right now it's on my left side. This is the bathroom here, and the light switch is here, and then you have 2 hooks up here. This is my snooze sound sign here. We have those when we don't want to be disturbed, but you have 3 hooks here. You can hang things up here like your caps, your purse, anything like that, your swimsuits. Of course, if they're wet, I'll show you where you can hang them when they're wet, but that's a good place to hang those items. And again, as I mentioned, it's the light switch for the bathroom. It's outside, and then you have a step up into the bathroom, and you have your toilet here, and that is the toilet flush there. You just push that in, and then you have like you have the toilet roll there. I don't know why, because the toilet tissue is actually here with the Kleenex. Then they have some extra items there with the bin. You have extra linen here, and then you also have that close-up mirror there. There are 2 shelves, and I love these here. This is just something I just absolutely love, because when you have your items up on these shelves, if the ship begins to rock, your items will not slide off. So you can put all of your items up there, which I'll be doing in a few minutes when I unpack my bags. I'll put everything up there. It's smaller than one of the ships. I don't remember this room being this small, but I guess so. Anyway, a little bit, you have some counter space here, but you do have more storage space down here, and you also have some storage space under the vanity, and these also open, and you can also use those for storage space. So for one person, again, it's not that bad. I can work with them, and be honest with you, even if it's 2 people, you can work with it then as well. It does not it's not that bad. So if you're in the room and you are sharing with another person, you can make the best of your storage space no matter how you do it. You have the mirror here that is over the sink, and okay, there it is. I was looking for the, what do you call it, the shaver, the charging station for that, so that is there. And again, as I mentioned, you have the mirror there, and then this is the shower with glass doors. You just pull here, that's the handle, and then inside the shower, which is a nice size. Now this is a huge shower, and I love the glass door showers better than I do the shower curtain. It just seems like more room to me. But they have the shampoo and the shower gel there, and you have your hot and cold controls there for your shower. Very nice size with the rack and the safety bars and another hook there. And also, as I mentioned before, if you want to dry your swimwear from the beach or from the pool, you have this line here. Instead of hanging them out there, you can just pull this line out and hook it over here, and that is where, let me show you, and you can just hang your wet clothes up there, just for your information. But you know, that is just to have the room looking a little bit tidier, especially again if you're in the room with if you're sharing the room with someone else. Now the other thing they have down here is also the little rack there that you can put your feet on when you're shaving, so I also like that. And again, we have here in front of the sink some extra linen. You have your towels, your hand towels, and your face cloths there, and your little floor. I have received my bag, so thanks to my steward attendant, I'll be unpacking my bag. I have one check bag, I have another carry-on bag under my jacket, and then I have another little tote bag over there, and that is my backpack, which I carry my camera in. You also but that's my stuff. But while I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and show you this. We have some beach towels here. Whenever you go to the beach, it is okay to take these towels. Just make sure you bring them back, and make sure you don't take them with you, because if you do, they will charge you for the towels, but just leave them in the room. But I think that is very nice of Carnival to provide you with towels to take to the pool, the hot tub, or wherever. But that's what those towels for, so don't take the white towels out of the bathroom. They provide you 2 towels for that purpose. And this here is a light switch. Here, you just use that, a reading switch, a reading light, when you're sitting here on the couch. And you got some art, and this here is actually a pull-out couch that is a bed. So this room, I believe, sleeps 4. This side, and I do apologize to y'all if I'm going kind of fast, but when you've done one cabin room tour, you've done them all. But this is the refrigerator here. I will be putting some water in there in a few minutes. I like that refrigerator. It's like a glass door and you can see inside. I think those get a little cooler as well. And then here you have your phone. Now the Carnival Celebration, it is a newer ship, so you'll see more updated features in these rooms, so I do love that. But here at the desk, as I mentioned, you have the phone, and then you do have 2 shelves, and again they have this little ledge here to keep your items from sliding off when the ship is rocking, because sometimes that does happen, right? And we got the water here, the tray, and then just a few other things, the menu. I'll also put things up there as well. Here on the desk, you do have your charging stations here. You have 4 USBs and 3 110s here, which you can see I'm charging my phone. And I'm also charging my battery, and pay no attention to that. It is a dead battery. It's amber. It looks green on the camera, but it's actually amber. And so that's the charging station. So ample enough space for me and for others if you're sharing the room. You have a lot of information here. That's my sell and sign card for getting in my room, and that's also how I charge items to my card. Fun time, that's entertainment or what's happening on the ship. There is a note for all of the guests, which I haven't read that yet, but I do need to read that. This is my steward attendance card here. If I need anything from him, I can just call him. This is good to know information that I also need to read. They have their QR directory, a little notepad and pencil, and of course the remote control to the television. And this is the light switch to the mirror over the desk. And this is the mirror, which is a nice size. And then under here, which I missed that, I don't even know why I did that, but next to the refrigerator you do have 3 drawers. The first drawer is a little bit more shallow with your laundry bags and laundry slips in there. And if you are platinum and above, you do get some complimentary laundry, as it is pouring down out there. I got to show you all that. And then you have 2 drawers here. That is the hair dryer. And then you have another drawer here, soft clothes. And this is the ottoman here. It is not on wheels, but I will pull that out a little while, but I need 2 hands because it's not on wheels, so it is heavy. But I do want to add, there is more storage, and if you turn this over, it is also a tray. So if you're eating in your room, you can use it as a tray, or you can use it as an ottoman to rest your feet. You can store items in there as well. So if you need storage space, again, there's more storage for you there. I usually don't use it because I usually have enough space, but just in case, another trash bin. Before I go in this room, let me show you all this. Look at that. It is storming out there. I would go out there, but it's raining on the deck. You all probably can't see it, but it's not hitting the door. But I think some of the wind, I may get some mist if I went out there. When I was out there earlier, I did. But it is raining out there. I may try to go out there a little bit later. But you may can hear it a little bit. Let's see. Oh, it's not that bad. That's actually that's the ocean. You can still see Miami over there. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we are at the bed, and my bed is a king size because I am the only one sleeping in this room. However, you can get these rooms. They actually come with 2 twin beds. I have to request to convert my bed to a king size bed. So if you are going on a cruise and you are not sharing a room with anyone, or you are sharing a room with your significant other, be sure to let your travel agent know, or if you're doing it yourself, Carnival or whoever, let them know that you want to convert your bed to a king size bed. If you do not, you will automatically have 2 twin beds when you come in the room. But as I mentioned before, I do have the king size bed, and this here is a bedding protector. We use this to unpack our luggage, so I can just put my luggage up and unpack, and then once I'm finished, I just fold this up until it's time for me to pack my bag. So I will be doing that in a few minutes. You have a little table here on this side, a little bedside table here. I don't see any charging units on this side. Let's see, nope, there's none over here, but you do have a reading lamp here. So we have the reading lamp on this side, and as you go over to the other side, I do want to highlight there is a television. That's a nice size television. That's a huge television compared to the last ship I was on, which was the Carnival Legend. I was on the Carnival Legend, and that TV was very small compared to this. Wow, probably about 3 times the size, maybe, definitely 2 times the size. So small television. But here on the other side of the bed, you have another little bedside table and another reading lamp. And you know what, they do have USB charging. They don't have 110, but they do have USB charging on the reading lamps for your use. And then I just want to highlight that above the bed, we do have those light switches again that turns off the room. And then we have this switch here that turns the light on just over your bed, and that turns off all the lights except the mirror light. So make sure you turn that off before you get into bed, or you'll have to get up and turn that one on. So let's turn everything back on except this one. We don't need that one on. So this is the room, and you all have seen the view. I do have a balcony room, and I just love it. So the last time I was on the celebration, my seating area was closer to the balcony, which I don't know which one I like the best. I can lay in the bed and see the water. It doesn't really matter. I can see it either way it goes. So I'm not really picky, but you know, it depends on your preference. And again, if you're sharing a room, that may make a big difference. But for me, it doesn't really matter to me. But I'm glad I had a chance to experience the room with the bed closest to the balcony. So that is a tour of the room. Now I need to unpack my bags. You guys, it's not late. It's just storming outside, so it feels late. Plus it gets dark a little bit earlier. It may be about maybe 5 o'clock at the latest. It is not, I'm sure, I'll tell you what time it is. It's right here. It's right here. Let's see. 5:36, not even 6 o'clock, and it's really getting dark out there, but it's because Miami did have rain today off and on, and then the time change. If I do something additional tonight, I will bring you all along. I will not be in front of the camera much, but I will definitely be taking you all along and showing you all as much as possible, and keeping this journey as pleasant and as enjoyable without boring you all, but showing you all the highlights. That's the biggest thing. So you may not see everything. This is a 14-day cruise, and remember, there are 24 hours in a day, and I'll probably try to get about 15 minutes out of 24 hours. I am going to turn the cameras off for now. Thank you all again. Let's get these bags unpacked. Pick you all up in a little while.